Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Battlestar Galactica Deadlock Armistice. Armistice is the end of Season 2 and marks the end of the Deadlock story arc. We're going to be playing the third mission in the campaign now called Bilateral. We're going to get inside and we're going to get a mission briefing.
Ministry wants us to watch over the peace treaty between Virgon and Leonis. I guess there's no better time than 12 years into a war with killer robots to confirm they don't want to fight each other anymore. The document's being signed at a diplomatic station above Troy. Seems appropriate, given how often they fought over that rock. A host of Virgon MPs and Leonid senators will be present, so Ministry wants us there to make sure everyone is on their best behavior.
Ministry seems convinced there won't be foul play by either side, but both of them will be looking for any excuse not to sign. If Cylons get added to the mix, this whole thing will go sideways.
Priority objective is to keep the station in one piece until every functionary is back in their home sky. We jump at the top of the hour.
So, yet again, there's more peace treaties being signed amongst the colonies. Battlestar Galactica and the BSG-75 battle group have to jump in and keep the peace. A show of force to show that Colonial Fleet really cares about everybody in the 12 colonies. In addition to that as well, there may be some other militants who may want to jump in, but our prime concern is going to be around the Cylons. And the Cylons are sneaky at best. Just going to make sure I got enough ships to carry on my campaign, so I may have to go and buy some more. I'm lacking on a few support ships, and support ships for me are a crucial thing I think I'm going to need going on through this campaign. Not only with the Celestra, but also the Defender as well. That came in as part of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock Ghost Fleet. So we'll build a Celestra support ship, make sure we're on the right message, we're there for the campaign, and it's time to proceed. So, we're going in there Battlestar heavy this time. We've got a Minotaur, got some Battlestars, got an Adamant. Unfortunately, the modern ship pack does not apply to the campaign missions, else I'd be going in there mob-handed with a load of Mercury class. The Mercury class Battlestars do take up about 2,800 fleet points, so you're not going to get many of those to a pound, if you know what I mean. So here we are, the Bilateral mission, third mission in the campaign of Troy. So you can see the station there, we've got to protect that. We've got our Battlestars, got the Jupiter Mark II, Jupiter Mark I, and an Artemis. No Minerva tissue paper Battlestar here. And of course, the good old workhorse, the Minotaur gunship. The ship bristling with guns. Now, I'm going to make a slight change to my loadout on one of my Battlestars, and I'm going to put in a Taipan for an anti-capital ship fighter, just in case. Now, the Taipan fighter did come up in regards to, I believe it was Resurrection.
Clock has reached Mark 25.
The beginning of Season 2, which looks very much like the Battlestar Thunderfighter.
Signing a single piece of paper.
Enjoy the boredom while it lasts. It's a rare luxury these days.
So, a bit of talky-talky from Silas Nash and Samantha Agathon. Great. All we've got to do, launch all our squadrons, slow ourselves right down, give ourselves enough space between the station and any potential Cylon jump-in points. Now, it's going to be quite boring, the first part of this mission, because it's a lot of waiting around. It's a lot of waiting around. But it does give us the opportunity to talk about the final chapter of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock Armistice, which has 8 missions in its campaign. Alright, this is mission 3.
They've been at it for over 12 hours down there. Look, after the constant running while in Ghost Fleet, I'm not complaining. I just thought this was supposed to be a quick couple of pictures and get out kind of deal.
Have they still got the radio block up?
Seems so. We wouldn't be outside of protocol if we sent someone to check that everything is okay. Go grab a Raptor, Praetor. See what's going on down there.
Sir, I can accompany Praetor Agathon to the station.
No, thank you. I'll need diplomacy down there, not a chaperone waiting to punch me in the back of the head again.
So, a bit of story there from not only the Marine Sergeant, the Praetor, Samantha Agathon, Silas Nash, and the other guy. Alex. So what we're finding is we've got to then launch our squadrons and get a raptor down to the station to see what's going on and why it's taking so long. So you know something's going to happen really soon. But going back to Battlestar Galactica Deadlock and this iteration of the DLC. This DLC does mark the end of this story arc, as I mentioned. But to see more Battlestar Galactica videos, hit that like and subscribe button and also that notification icon, and that'll let you know when I'm putting more videos of skirmishes, multiplayer matches, campaigns, past and present, of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock and other games on the YouTube channel. We might have a go at Twitch as well, we just don't know yet. So, okay, we've got our fleet positioned nicely, the Raptor's going towards the station. Only one of my capital ships isn't packing any missiles, that being the Minotaur, which is effectively a Taurian gunship, and gunship in every sense of the word. So there you are, we're just waiting for the Raptors to land, and no doubt we're going to get another bit of story.
I've been flagged down at the gate. Security seems intact. I'll see what I can find out.
Okay, so there you have it. There's our capital ship. Nice formation. I expect Cylons to jump in any moment. It's been far too quiet. Cylons or terrorists, it's going to be Cylons, let's face it. Let's move some squadrons out the way in case we've got to start laying down some flak. Okay. Here come the Cylons.
Greatest contacts! Cylon IFFs all over the board.
Sam?
I heard you. They haven't gotten the news here yet. I'm heading for the chambers before they find out. Try not to break my cover.
Sir, shouldn't we evacuate the station? That is a lot of Cylon ordnance, CBDR.
The Praetor's rightly worried about the political temperature down there. Last thing we need is to set off more infighting. Engage the Cylons, Commander, before they frack this thing up any further.
Right, yes. Engage the Cylons, he said. No problem. Commander. Here I have my capital ships. They've jumped in. Let's let them have it. Let's get our fighters involved as well. Try and take out some of the ships as they appear.
Got it.
I mean, only 1, 2, 3, 4 marks have appeared so far. We've also been doing a good job as well of wearing down the Cylon threat in regards to resource missions. Resource missions like Future Food, which is a new one for Armistice, and also the Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. So we've got to wait for the treaty to be signed and for Samantha Agathon. So we've got to keep an eye on the top right-hand corner, but I'm primarily concerned with shooting these Cylons that have turned up. So yeah, we've got some ships on play. 2 more have jumped.
Board greatest contacts. All hostile marks,
so
sir.
We're currently
Praetor,
a little bit out of
Galactica
position.
actual.
Not to worry,
the situation
we'll
is about to boil over up here. I need you to pull back to Galactica, now.
Cannot comply, Galactica. We just got the news about the visitors. They're all accusing each other of a double cross. We're one wrong word away from reopening the Imperial Wars in here.
Right, back to the action. I do find sometimes the story mode does tend to slow things down a bit much. I don't know, that's just me. I like the action. Some would say the game is slow and honed in minutiae enough as it is. But it does break it up quite nicely. I think I would have preferred to see FMV cutscenes at the end of the mission and at the beginning of the mission, as opposed to it being peppered all the way through. Perhaps. I don't know. Who knows for the future? Will there be a Season 3 with a different story arc of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock? I don't know. I mean, perhaps it won't be called Deadlock. Perhaps it will be called something else. I have asked my contact at Slithering Games about this, and all he said was, yes, it was the end of the Deadlock story arc.
I'm on it, Commander.
Now, story arcs are story arcs. Will there be more Battlestar Galactica? Here's hoping. Here's hoping. So, I'm in there, and I'm doing all my ship management. We've got to get some missiles off as well. Again, this does give us a bit more time to talk about what's going on in this final chapter. So as I mentioned, 8-mission story campaign. That brings Season 2 of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock to a thrilling conclusion. It's going to deal with the unraveling of Klothos's plot.
Sir, we've got
the
more Dratus
evil
contacts.
IM,
All Cylons, all coming right for us.
That is a
ILM, or whatever
lot
it
of
is.
incoming firepower.
Cylon.
Mr. Singh,
With superior
send reinforcement
intelligence,
requests to
and
both
take
Leonid
part
and
in the
Vergon
legendary
naval commands.
Operation Raptor
Attach
Talon.
operational
Now, Operation
coordinates,
Raptor
but
Talon
make sure they
involved the
have
Columbia
entry vectors
Battlestar,
outside the contact range of each other.
and
We need backup,
a
not
fleet,
a civil war.
and also
Yes,
William
sir.
Adama with his call sign Husker. He crashed down to a planet after being involved in a dogfight with the Cylon and discovered things, right? And check out, things like Blood and Chrome, all that sort of stuff. And the web shorts as well that accompany Battlestar Galactica. You get some good backstory. And that was always the point of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. It was to explore the backstory of the first Cylon War. The commissioning of the Battlestar Galactica and the other Battlestars, Jupiter-class Battlestars, that were promised to each colony.
Silas,
Then,
what the frack
we
did
went
you
all
do?
the way through
My job,
that
Raider.
first series.
Cylons
with,
aren't stopping, and I need more guns before we're overrun.
Except now,
I forgot
Leonis
what it was
thinks
called. We had a
Vergon
resource
is
pack.
attacking.
That's right, we had a
Vergon thinks
resource
Leonis
pack.
is attacking,
That gave us some
and
more
everyone
armaments
blames
and some
Galactica.
more ships.
I don't care
and
who
also,
they blame.
in addition to that,
All
then
I'm
we
concerned
had
about
Broken
right now is
Alliance.
that they don't
That
get
was the
killed.
second DLC. That's
Return
right.
to Galactica,
After
Sam.
that, then there
That's an
was
order.
Anabasis.
There's nothing
which
else
put
you
us
can
in
do
a sort
down
of
there.
survival mode, which is a very good
Fine,
thing, and
I'm
I've
on
yet
my
to
way.
completely beat that, despite all my trying, even with the new 16,000 fleet cap limit that comes with the Daybreak update that accompanies this future DLC. That'll be released on the 24th of September. Yeah, I managed to get one ship out. How rubbish am I? There's also new resource missions. There are 9 resource missions available to challenge you in any Season 2 story campaign. So yeah, I've seen Future Food. That's a new one on me so far. And there's Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, where you have to protect freighters. Now, you'll notice on the screen here that I've got a Protect the Peace Treaty signing, and now I can recall Sam's Raptor from the station. But as soon as I do that, right, things go up a gear. So I have found, in this section of things, take the Cylons out first, then recall the Raptor. That's how I've done it. Because the Raptor's on the station, and they're not even bothered about the station at the moment. They're bothered about you. And when I say them, I mean the Cylons. So in addition to these additional resource missions and this campaign you see being played out before you, there's 3 new musical pieces from composer Ash Gibson Grigg,
Yes, Commander.
Grigg, that bring the world of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock to life. And again, with the modern ship pack, if you go for that as well, you're going to get the Mercury class Battlestar, you're going to get the modern era Basestar. One-on-one with those in a skirmish or anabasis is great. Also, with multiplayer. Also, you're going to get the Battlestar
Yes, Commander.
Valkyrie and a Mark 7 Viper. Now, here's the thing with these Mark 7 Vipers. You can only ever fit them to a Mercury-class Battlestar or to a Valkyrie. You can't go fitting them to a Jupiter 2. And you can't use them in the campaign. I've got to reiterate that. On the Cylon side, you get 2 Basestars. You get the modern Basestar, which we saw in, the recent Battlestar Galactica. It's the modern Cylon Basestar, which is really good. It allows you to do tactical micro jumps, lots of missiles, quite a few Raider squadrons, and there's a video about that on my channel for the ships of the modern ship pack. I've split it into Cylons and colonial ships, so there's 2 videos out for that, so watch out for those. So the modern Basestar utilised an organic hull resin which allowed structural damage to be repaired quickly. The other Basestar is a Basestar prototype that was basically seen at the end
Centurions have boarded
of
one of our
Operation
ships.
Raptor Talon, the web
Battlestar is taking damage.
during the First Cylon War. Like I mentioned, Adama falls down to the planet, being pursued by a Cylon, finds an installation where they're making hybrids, and this Basestar takes off and zooms off and then never to be seen again. Well, that's where it is. And it's got a hybrid prototype in it as well, and a load of Centurions.
Yes, Commander.
In addition to that, though, you also get the modern Cylon fighter, but you can only fit the modern Cylon fighter to the modern Cylon Basestar. Bit like you can only hit up the Colonial Viper Mark 7. to the new Battlestars and not the old antiquated ones for the
Battlestars taking
Cylon War.
damage.
But you'd think we should be able to fit them to the Jupiter 2, shouldn't we?
Artemis down.
But hey, there you go. Perhaps that might change. This is, after all,
Friendly
a
squadron
press
is dark.
version and is probably due for release. But who knows what might happen if there's any additional enhancements to do. So far, what's happening here in this campaign? We've spoken about Armistice for quite a bit now. What's going on with the action? Well, I seem to have lost an Artemis-class Battlestar. I'm not happy about that. I never should have. I don't know why I did. Too many missiles by the look of it, which that looks like the fact that unrevealed Cylon at the top of the screen is more than likely an Argos-type Basestar. So the Minotaur's laying down great fire. We've got missiles coming from the Battlestars, the Adamant's missiles as well, and our Vipers are pretty much still in the air, which is great. So we haven't been taken out by Raiders so far. Again, good stuff.
Friendly
good
unit
stuff.
down.
So, moving onwards. When we think about how this battle is playing out, you've got to keep one eye on that station, because they might do something. But so far, they haven't. Keep an eye out for Wardriver squadrons as well. Keep a lookout for the Cylon missiles as well. And other things. So it does tend to sort of like think, well, where am I going with this? So there's a good look at the station there as well, right? You know, we've still got our Raptors and Vipers. We're going to recall our Raptor back from the station now, as we seem to have cleared out a lot of the Cylons in the area. Still a few, you know, dragging their heels around, but we'll soon take them out. There's a Nemesis there. We've taken the Argos out. Hey, no dramas there. So select that target. All we got to do then is wait for that Raptor squadron to turn up, and that's going to be the end of the mission. And that is that. That is all there is to it. Nothing else jumped in. Sam Agathon is on her way back. And when she leaves the station, we do get a little bit of a surprise. Reinforcements, everybody.
Straightest contacts. Oh, God.
And look at that. One complete and utter donkey jumps directly into the station. Now, I originally thought, oh, right, well, what caused this then? What's the purpose of this?
Got it.
Is this going to spawn a civil war within this campaign? And so far,
say we all.
And I've been all the way through the campaign, I can tell you, Daedalus, which was in Mission 1, does not feature, right, in the campaign. We all know that's going to become Ragnar Station, that, you know, the Galactica turns up with the fleet.
Galactica, what the frack just happened back there?
Watch out for debris, Praetor.
The silent attack
The
on
colonial
Hull.
ships just jumped straight into the station.
But
get back here
what was
now,
the point
Sam.
of them jumping into
we
the
need
station?
to clean up this
What
mess
did it
before
serve?
we lose
Okay,
anyone
get one
else.
ship less. Here are the reinforcements. Don't need them. We took care of business. If you did get into trouble and there was too many Cylons on the screen, then perhaps a couple of Adamants with their missiles and their Viper squadrons would be handy. But personally, for me, not so
All
much.
hostile marks are dark.
Anyway, battle over.
What do we... That wasn't us, right? I mean, that wasn't our fault. The coordinates were...
Have fleet set up an operational perimeter around the wreckage site. I need SNR and cleanup crews in the sky, now.
What a fracking mess. We're gonna end up killing each other before the Cylons can.
This war grows too big. Each conflict is further fuel in the powder keg. At some point, it will become too much.
So all of the colonial voice actors have had their little piece in there. Again, I lost a Minotaur. Shame about that. And I lost an Artemis Battlestar with quite a bit of veterancy as well, which is a shame. But I did not lose my commander. Let's take a look at the replay. Okay, here we are with the replay. Now, of course, we've got camera mode as well in this. You can zoom around and have a look at some good pictures. Vipers have launched. We can see that. And that sort of lull at the beginning of the mission. That sort of lulls you into the fact that, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I should be putting my ships into a defensive method. And we've got a nice picture of the Taipan there. Or the Buck Rogers Thunder Fighter, as I like to call it. You know, puts you into a false sense of security. You know the Cylons are going to turn up, or at least someone's going to turn up. What would have been good at the end of that mission, I think, is if the ships who had turned up would have been somebody who had disagreed with the nuclear treaty that was being signed. That would have been fantastic, right? I feel it was a missed opportunity, I think, in this storyline. You would have fought the Cylons off, great, you've had a bit of a kick in, and then you had to deal with these adamants. That would have been a good story arc for that. Otherwise, you know, them turning up, you know, doesn't really do an awful lot for the story, especially the destruction of the station. So there you go, Cylons have turned up, we're starting to take some damage, Battlestars are opening up, more Cylons turn up, and you generally know the story. So, I've been Ricardo, thanks very much for watching this third episode of the 8-story campaign of Battlestar Galactica Armistice. Check back for more videos, not only for the campaign, but also for skirmishes and a bit of Anabasis. Look at the missions as well, having a look at the ships of the modern ship pack, both Colonial and Cylon.
We're gonna hammer the frackers.
And generally have a good talk about Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. Thanks for watching, see you soon. So say we all.
Of your port. Too low, sir.
It's gonna take more than that.
Target is 87 by 34.
Set secondary battery. Full attack mode. Fire at will. Quicker! I'm taking hit!
I'm hit! I'm hit!
Switching guns to manual.
That got a little messy.
Reaching. Bingo 2. Need a hold of the seat. Rally on me. Actual says to mop up and prepare for extraction.
They're breaking. Push the line.